cabling best practices. If you look at a current measurement, your conductor coming from your inverter usually has the conductor kind of in my light orange. You have a shield around it. And if you want to run this whole thing through the current sensor, I highly advise against it because you need that shield. That shield's going to be picking up those fields. It's going to be protecting that inverter cable. Whatever you run through the current sensor, you're going to be picking up all the currents there. So if you have a current in your conductor and a current in your shield, you're going to pick up the addition of those or the difference of those. So the measured current is going to be the conductor or the cable plus the shield. And trust me, you have more current running in that shield than you think. And for example, if I have 100 amps going in this direction and I have 1 amp going in that direction, I'm measuring 99 amps. I'm off 1% just because I routed my shield incorrectly. But you might be saying, but if I take that shield off, I'm going to get noise on my measurement or I'm going to break that path. And you are correct. So how do we approach this? How do we get the good measurement and the noise immunity? Well, we start with a really nice shielded cabinet. You want an instrument grade cabinet, metal enclosure with the door grounded in a good grounding path from the cabinet to your ground plane. And this guy's going to act as your shield for your measurement. Now we go inside the box and we're going to route the shield around the current sensor. So we're going to have the conductor going through. We're going to have the shield routed around. So we have all the benefits of the shield. We now have the cabinet acting as the shield to protect it from bad measurements. And we complete that shield path so that the inverter is happy, so that the inverter can do its thing the way it expects. This is really the best way to do a measurement. You want the sensors in the cabinet. You want the sensors to be appropriately grounded. Sensors have a space. They need to be a certain distance apart. So there's a space specification. Straight cables through the sensor is a good practice. You don't want curves. You don't want arcs. And if you can, keep your DC and AC signals separate. But just putting them in that cabinet, routing the shield around, will really increase your measurement quality. We separate our shield current from our conductor. We can get good efficiencies, good power, good measurements. And what that looks like is we got a cabinet for our DC, a cabinet for our AC. They're spaced appropriately. We got those shields going around, and we're going to get really good measurements from this. The people who implement this have a notable increase in their measurement quality right away. Use good cables. Pay for the expensive cables. I cannot stress that enough. That $100 cable is going to save you so much headache over that $12 cable you cannot imagine. And at HBK, we do try to make this pretty easy. So our current sensors, we have a cable that goes from our current sensor to our amplifier box, and then we have another cable that goes from our amplifier box to our power analyzer. This is really going to make a good Faraday cage. It's going to make a good shielding path, and you're going to be really confident that you're going to get a good measurement. When you go to the actual cables, what makes up a good cable? Twisted pair, if it's a 3-phase voltage, twisted thruple, are really good cables. You can get them individually shielded. You can get the whole thing shielded. Shield your voltage cables. Have your current cables shielded. Don't just go bare wire without a shield, because you will have headaches. Because you want to keep that noise in and you want to keep other noise out. You want to protect it on both sides. Pay for the expensive cables.